नमस्ते बिटिया, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया। माई सेल्फ डॉक्टर आरती पुरोहित, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ पैथोलॉजी, ज्योति विद्यापीठ, वुमेन्स यूनिवर्सिटी. Our today's topic is epididymitis and orchitis. The inflammation of testes is termed as orchitis and of epididymis is called as epididymitis. The latter being more common. A combination of epididymo-orchitis may also occur. The non-specific epididymitis and orchitis. The non-specific epididymitis and orchitis or their combination may be acute or chronic. The common routes of spread of infection are via the vas deferens or via lymphatic and hematogenous route. The most frequently, the infection is caused by urethritis, cystitis, prostatitis, and seminal vesiculitis. Other causes are mumps, smallpox, dengue fever, influenza, pneumonia, and filariasis. In general examination, acute stage, the testicle is firm, tense, swollen, and congested. There may be multiple abscesses, especially in gonorrheal infection. In chronic cases, there is usually variable degree of atrophy and fibrosis. On microscopic examination, the acute orchitis and epididymitis are characterized by congestion, edema, and diffuse infiltration by neutrophil lymphocytes, plasma cell, macrophages, or formation of neutrophilic abscess. Acute inflammation may resolve or may progress to chronic form. In chronic epididymoorchitis, there is focal or diffuse chronic inflammation, disappearance of seminiferous tubules, fibrous scarring, and destruction of interstitial leading cells. The granulomatous and autoimmune orchitis. The non-tuberculous granulomatous orchitis is a peculiar type of unilateral, painless testicular enlargement in middle-aged man that may resemble a testicular tumor clinically. The exact etiology and pathogenesis of the condition is not known, though an autoimmune basis is suspected. On general examination, the affected testes is enlarged with thickened tunica. Cut section of the testes is grayish white to tan brown. Microscopic examination show there are circumscribed non-caseating granulomas laying within the seminiferous tubules. These granulomas are composed of epithelioid cells, lymphocytes, plasma cell, some neutrophils, and multinucleate giant cell. The origin of the epithelioid cells is from Sertoli cells lining the tubules. The tuberculous epididymo-orchitis. The tuberculosis invariably begins in the epididymis and spread to involve the testes. The tuberculous epididymo-orchitis is generally secondary tuberculosis from elsewhere in the body. On general examination, the discrete yellowish caseous necrotic areas are seen. On microscopic examination, the numerous tubercles which may coalesce to form large caseous mass are seen. The characteristics of typical tubercles such as epithelioid cells, peripheral mentae of lymphocyte, occasional multinucleate giant cell, and central areas of caseation necrosis are seen. The numerous acid-fast bacilli can be demonstrated by Ziehl-Neelsen staining. Now the spermatic granuloma. The spermatic granuloma is a term used for the development of inflammatory lesion due to invasion of spermatozoa into the stroma. The spermatic granuloma may develop due to trauma, inflammation, and loss of ligature following vasectomy. On general examination, the sperm granuloma is a small nodule 3 mm to 3 cm in diameter, firm, white to yellowish brown. On microscopic examination, it consists of a granuloma composed of histiocyte, epithelioid cell, lymphocyte, and some neutrophils. Characteristically, the central of spermatic granuloma contains the spermatozoa and necrotic debris. In elephantiasis is an enormous thickening of the scrotal skin, resembling the elephant's hide and result in enlargement of the scrotum. The condition results from filariasis in which the adult form live in the lymphatic while the larva travel in the blood, the most important variety of filaria is Wuchereria bancrofti. The condition is common in all tropical countries. The vector is generally the Culex mosquito. On general examination, the affected leg and scrotum are enormously thickened with enlarged or regional lymph node. On microscopic examination, the changes begins with lymphatic obstruction by the adult worm. The worm is alive, dead, or calcified form may be found in the dilated lymphatic or in lymph node. Dead or calcified worm in lymphatics is usually followed by the lymphangitis with intense infiltration by eosinophil. This is my reference books. This session is powered by 2.0 digital version Jyoti Vidyapeeth. I hope you all enjoy this session. If you have any query, please mention it in comment box. I will try to resolve it. Thank you so much. Please, children, listen carefully, understand your topic, and try to make your own notes. Thank you.